Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Let's see who comes in. Hey, Mark. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's give everybody a little bit of time to get in here. Hello, Mama T. I hadn't seen you in a little while. How's everybody's day going? Mine's been crazy. Crazy. Yeah, crazy busy. Ours has been too. Like, all the things that I normally get done have been, like, done almost a day behind. So, like, normally I get the menu done on Friday so I can go shopping Saturday. And, of course, I didn't get the menu done until this morning. Actually, this afternoon. And then I had to hurry up and go shopping real quick and get back here in time. My hair's a mess. Sorry, y'all. I've been shearing sheep today. Hey, Dr. Purple. What's up? Good to see you here. Stephanie, Teresa, David, awesome. Hey, Farmer Mimo. Good to see you here too. I'm almost a week behind. Whew. No, I mean, if we tried to go that route, I probably am about a week behind. No, we've been able to get, like, we've been doing our blog every week, so we got that out on time. We got, you know, we've been waiting on the ground to dry out so we can put all of our plants up. We've got zucchini plants that I wouldn't be surprised if flowers start coming on them here. It's kind of scary, but they're massive. They're like this big. So, alright, we'll wait till about 5 after and we'll get started. Anybody have anything really bizarre happen this weekend? Hey, Suburban. I hate when autocorrect or, you know, something happens and hey, Wallace Knife Works. Good to see you in here as well. It's a lot of people we don't normally see. Let's see. Stephanie says, I'm missing playing in the dirt this year. Can't plant anything here. Oh, that stinks. Well, you could do some containers, though. Just because you can't plant in the ground, you could do some container gardening. Get you a couple of 5-gallon buckets. If you don't want to spend money on the containers, is what I mean. Suburban says, I have pepper plants under grow lights with blooms. Yeah, so we're not quite there, but I really feel like if we don't get this stuff in the ground soon, it's going to happen. Driving, but playing through my speakers. All right. Don't watch me. Just listen to me, Amanda. Mark Wilson. That's a new name, I believe. I'll be in your area next week after next Andy. I'll call you. What's up? Shakara. Yay. A couple of areas that I can put planters, but we can't put things out that would kill grass. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a couple, Stephanie, grab a couple of 5-gallon buckets at Walmart or Home Depot and make a couple of things like that. I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Awesome. Frost is not over till the beginning of May. Ooh. Yeah, we're like, the last 2 nights, it's been a little bit cooler. Shakara, I'll email you something. I got your email address. You know, I've been doing my temperature blanket, so I have to keep up with the low. And we've been hovering in the 50s for quite a while, like over a week. And in the last 2 days, it's been in the 40s. So it got a little bit cooler over the last couple of days. But, so that's why I haven't been rushing to get, you know, that kind of thing. Get everything outside because I don't want to put it in wet dirt and then have it get close to freezing. So Kiwi has a good suggestion. 5-gallon buckets from the bakery department in the grocery store. Icing in 5-gallon buckets, and they're food grade. So, oh wow. So Stephanie had to give away her pigs. She heard from the guy that we gave her pigs to. Sophie had 9 and Parker had 14 piglets. Holy cow. Aren't you glad you don't have to feed all those mouths? That's all I got to say about that. I mean, piglets are great, but when you can't offload them and sell them to somebody, then you're stuck feeding them, and that's crazy. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot of pork. So, alright. So, we got about 25 people in here. Okay. Alright, so the last couple weeks we were doing cleaning. Last week was a big, huge flop. My little, what were they, turd pods? They didn't turn out very well. So I think, I'm going to have to tweak that recipe. And once I figure it out, I will let y'all know. Because I know we can use them at our house. Because the amount of, and my kids lovingly call it butt mud, that comes out of our family, I like to be able to have the toilet clean. So, so that's definitely something we need to probably perfect. And I guess once I get it figured out, then I'll do a video on it so you guys can see it. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about cooking with essential oils. Now, there's this huge debate. There's a lot of people. If you Google ingesting essential oils, you're going to see a lot of different opinions. You're going to have people who say, oh, it's horrible for you, and it's going to tear up your insides, and it's going to burn your throat, and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And then you're going to have other people that tell you that they're okay to ingest. Okay? The very first thing I will say is, remember, first and foremost, that not all oils are, hello Mud Pie, not all oils are safe for ingestion. There is a list that the FDA has approved that are normally considered safe. I'm sorry, not approved. The jargon is generally considered safe. So if you look in the description, down in the description, there's a link to that list. And so it has stuff like peppermint, lemon, you know, all of the normal stuff. And the funny thing about this is there's such a controversy about essential oils. Hey, Woody, what's up? I love how he does his name. I think that's really cool how he spells it and then it's spelled backwards. It's pretty neat. Anyway, so the thing is that there's this big argument back and forth about whether essential oils are safe and whether they can be ingested. But in fact, they've been using essential oils for flavoring and stuff for years and years and years and years. The food and beverage industry has been using them for over 100 years. So it's not that they're not safe. It's just you've got to be sure the quality is food grade. No different than when you're using your buckets to plant. You want to make sure that it's food grade. You want to make sure that the oils you're using to flavor with are food grade as well. That's just, I mean, it's just that simple. So, and then there's some other things to keep in mind when you're using these that you want to make sure that you do, so that one, maybe you're not losing all of the properties of the oils. 2, you want to make sure that it mixes well, because obviously like water and oil don't mix. So when you put it in your water, you know, a lot of times you have to swirl it around to get it to mix together, and it really truly doesn't mix, it just kind of disperses. So you have to be really, you know, kind of careful with that. Suburban asks, can you put the link in your oils Facebook page? Yes, I will. I will do that as soon as I get done here. Link in Facebook page. I will definitely do that. As well, there's another there's another link in the description for an ebook that doTERRA has put together that is for cooking with essential oils. Now, I will be kind of going through some of that tonight, but I really encourage you guys. I mean, it's really very well put together. It talks about measurements, the type of cookware. It talks about what oils are okay for consumption, what are not. And you'll see a term in there, the GRAS. That is what I was talking about, the federal list of, and the GRAS stands for Generally Recognized as Safe. So that's what that is. So if you look at that, that's what you'll see, that Generally Recognized as Safe list, and it's in there. So, and there's the link right there. Kitty's put it up. I mean, yeah, Kitty's put it up. Suburban asks, so what oils could you use for taco Pop-Tarts? Well, for one, you could probably use the cilantro, maybe. I don't know if you wanted to get fun. You could probably put a little bit of ginger in there. Maybe some cardamom. I don't know. You could do, I mean, you could use a lot of them. Basil. I mean, there's a lot. Oregano. I mean, depending on lime, if you wanted to put some lime flavor in there, you could do that as well. Yep, lime. There you go. You could do that. Shakara, I will put a note down here to email you as well. So one of the things to think about is it the light, or did Miss Robin dye her hair darker? No, my hair is dark. It's actually like a reddish brown. When the light hits it, it's really, 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 really red. So, Mojito Taco Pop-Tarts. Hey, we could even put in a little bit of, because don't you put in a little bit of mint in mojitos? So you could do some lime and some mint in there and make you some mojito Taco Pop-Tarts. That would be cool. I think, Suburban, I think you and I need to get together and make a recipe and try it out. I think that would be really good. So we'll have to try that. Yes, with chicken. Oh, I gotta write that down. So, and we could put some cilantro in there, because you know cilantro and lime works really good together. So we'll do lime, cilantro, and mint. Chicken Taco Pop-Tarts. I want to make sure I remember this, because that's an outstanding, amazing idea. I love it. We got to do it. That's awesome. All right. I love you too, Suburban. You and I, man, minds think great alike together. So is Jason going to be the taste tester? I don't know. Maybe. So, okay, so I have this thing. Most of you that sent me recipes, you are all in this chat. So I need to ask y'all something. So I normally do cook with my essential oils. But there are some of these recipes that are calling for, like, one I think had lime in it. And there's a couple that had, like, oregano or thyme or something like that in them. What do you think about me subbing out the oil for the dry herb? Because, like, for instance, I think Terry sent me a recipe for pizza, and I think the sauce, and I might be wrong, I think the sauce has some kind of Italian thing in it. So I'm just wondering, I'm thinking, you know, maybe we could, so cloves can be replaced with clove oil or bacon. Yeah. That's exactly right. So bacon grease. Actually, you know, I saw a recipe this week, and this is total squirrel. I saw a recipe for bacon grease soap. And it takes me back to when Tara from Living on a Dime sent Jason some bacon soap, and the dog tried to eat Jason. So anyway, yeah. So thank you for reminding me of that, Kitty. There's a lot of times that I miss that. All right, so do the oils have a stronger taste? Absolutely. More than you would imagine. Yeah, it is. It basically is lard. You're right. It's bacon grease. But I just feel like with the meat cooked into it and then have that infused flavor, and then of course you clarify you clean the grease a little bit to make sure there's not got all of the what's that called? I can't think of it right in a second. What's the drippings? That's it. When you get the drippings in there, you don't want that in the soap, so you have to. So lard will not have the bacon taste. Right, exactly. But you don't want the drippings in the grease when you make soap. So yeah, so you have to strain it through a coffee filter and that kind of thing to make sure that you clean it out real good. Okay, yeah. So Josh has been teasing. He said it makes fantastic brownies. He's got some recipe for brownies that has bacon grease in it, so I'm really excited to hear about that or see it or taste it, whatever. Okay, so back to cooking with essential oils. Another thing to keep in mind is to make sure, yeah, no Squishy Squash, he's not here right now. Make sure that if you have the opportunity to dilute it, go ahead and dilute it. A lot of times what you're making will already have something in it that it can bind with. So what they tell you is that you can take the essential oils, if you dilute it into a lipid, so like a olive oil or coconut oil, or like I use cilantro and lime in my avocado salsa, so it binds really well to the avocado. So that kind of thing, like you want to go ahead and make sure that it has something that it can bind with, preferably a lipid fat, so that it can disperse, well, because obviously if it's just water, it's not gonna spread very well. So you want to do that. Also, if you have something like, if you're doing something sweet, so like if you're cooking, baking. If you're baking, you can take your oil and mix it in with like your honey or like syrup and mix that all together, and then that is great. So Mama T was asking if they are stronger. Yes, by definition they are. Think about it. The essential oil is the volatile substance that comes from the plant, and it's the essence of that plant. So if it takes like a teaspoon of dried herbs, it might take 1 drop for, if that, to have the same effect. So like Teresa, she uses cinnamon oil to make cinnamon rolls. But and I think Suburban said this earlier, is the best thing to do when you're doing essential oils is use wooden toothpicks. So if you take a wooden toothpick, and let's say like this is lemon, and you just barely get some oil on the wooden toothpick, then you take that toothpick and swirl it around. Now I know that sounds crazy, like that wouldn't affect or add flavor at all to anything, but I'm telling you, it really does, especially like lemon, oregano, all of that stuff. You really, really, really have to be careful with cooking with the essential oils, because it will alter the flavor of your meal very quickly if you use too much. So like I use cilantro and lime on cilantro, lime, and black beans and rice, and I used the lime oil thinking it wasn't going to be. Tim was just asking about you. He said, no squishy squash. I said, no squishy squash.
I'm exhausted.
I know, it's been a rough day.
But the sheep are sheared.
Good. So, yeah, like I said, use very little because it will overpower your meal. So, like when we did the cilantro, lime, black beans, and rice, we did that for dinner, chicken. And the cilantro and the lime was so powerful that you didn't taste any of the chicken, you didn't taste any of the beans. It was really, 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 really strong. So all you tasted was lime. Remember that with the cilantro and lime? So, okay, so Suburban and I came up with an idea. We're going to do taco Pop-Tarts, but we're going to make chicken taco Pop-Tarts. Yes, now listen. They're going to have chicken,
it's
lime,
not a taco if it's got chicken in it.
Lime.
Tacos have beef.
Cilantro and mint. It's going to be a mojito, a chicken mojito Pop-Tart. Taco Pop-Tart.
It's not a taco. It has to have beef.
So anyway, so that's...
Even though that does sound kind of good.
Yeah, I know, right? We were talking about it. Mojito chicken. That's right. We should even do it just as the chicken, just to see, like, maybe like in a burrito or something. I bet it would be fantastic.
I'm going to lose my head over it.
You can't even do it right. You're doing it wrong.
I don't think this comes apart. No, it doesn't.
No beaver taco, Jason?
No.
We've had beaver meat in tacos before. We were talking about this yesterday. We were sitting at the table, and we were having, what's it called?
We were having
shepherd's pie. Yeah.
And I said the next one I want to make with squirrel. Squirrel.
I think you need some Jameson and Coke.
Squirrel.
So anyway, we did that, and Jason was like, well, we haven't had anything with, because we had, the recipe called for beef stew meat. And it was supposed to be cooked down in Guinness beer, and she didn't cook it down, so the meat was really tough. Yeah, probably. But then we found out, listen to this.
But you know what?
Mashed potatoes.
Do you know what, though?
What?
At least she takes good care. She does good with hygiene.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because she always uses Head and Shoulders.
You're so goofy. So we asked her, we're like, you're supposed to do the beef stew meat was supposed to be cooked in Guinness beer. And we have some left over from St. Patrick's Day. So I was trying to find recipes that used that to get it, used and out of the house.
So has Scrape Away shown
No,
up?
he hasn't shown up yet. So anyway, she tells us at dinner.
It's okay, just walk away from the situation.
We're like, the potatoes are fantastic. They taste really, really good. They were really good, and they were so tasty. And I was like, what do you do with the mashed potatoes? She's like, well, that's where I used the beer. And I'm like, what? She said, I used 3 cups of water and 1 bottle of beer to boil my potatoes in to make the mashed potatoes. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. So they tasted really, 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 really good. But even with the beef stew, you could use some oregano, some basil, some thyme. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
You don't need to be in here if you're going to be like that, because we're having fun in here.
I want to have fun too.
Well, then stop being a... Yeah, exactly. Mwah. Well, we use, Suburban, we use beer to cook a lot of, especially like deer meat. We use the deer meat. When we use deer meat, we cook with beer. Oh my God, you two need a room.
You have no idea.
All right, so back to cooking with essential oils. So definitely keep in mind that they are no poopy butt mood. Generally, I use some whiskey. Yeah, and that's another good one. It's very good. I'm going to pinch it off. So what kind of oils can you use to cook with? Has anybody here used oils? We already know that Teresa Dean uses cinnamon oil for her cinnamon rolls. Does anybody else use
Viking hat.
This is why I only ever have like 20 or 30 people come in here.
How many people you
Huh? Okay, so Kitty says she uses basil oil in her red sauce recipes. Okay. Did he see the Hobbit skewer? No, I don't think he has. Did he send you that picture?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He doesn't talk to me anymore.
4 drops of black pepper in mother-in-law's beef stew. Funny. Can you imagine biting into a beef stew full of black pepper oil? Whew. Black pepper certainly. Whew. No, starting a live stream and cut and run Jason like last week, but we had a blast without you. What is she saying?
When you set me up, try to act like.
Huh?
Never mind.
When I set you. Oh, yeah. Or slice the tomatoes so thin your in-laws run away. Cilantro. Yeah, see, I use cilantro and lime in my guac.
In your Glock?
Guac.
You
Guacamole.
said in your Glock.
That too.
Does it help you with accuracy?
Mm-hmm. When he was being dirty. Oh, yeah. No, I was trying to keep him away from y'all. He was starting to get a little rowdy, weren't you? He had way too much to drink.
That is never a true statement.
So some of the oils, and then the other thing that I want you to think about,
Peekaboo.
9mm in my Glocks. I'm not playing with you tonight.
Ow!
Well, stop. You're very distracting. So the other thing too to keep
You
in
didn't have
mind.
to pinch my nipple fat.
I didn't. Oh, I was gonna say it wasn't your nipple; it was your fat. So the other thing to keep in mind when you're cooking with essential oils is to try to use it in the very end of your recipe. If you're cooking, like for instance the cilantro, lime, garlic, black bean, rice thing that we did. Ha! Scrape away is here! He's gonna make me laugh so hard I'm gonna have to step away from the situation. Love you, Patrick.
Scrape away.
Scrape away. Scrape away. You know what the worst part is? If there had been a camera around the couple of times that you and I have been stung on jobs. I mean, do you remember the time that we pulled the bees out of that house out in Waynesboro? That it was like floor to ceiling and joist to joist on the, and then we got almost done and the news was out there and they were filming us and then we were almost done and, no, the lady came, remember, she had a skirt on.
Yeah, she was smoking.
And she was trying to, Jason's like, you really need to put on the suit. She's like, but I can't, I've got a skirt on. He's like, you're going to have to hike the skirt up around your waist because you will get stung. We have been in here and sure enough, we get close and we went in and we were walking back out and they were following us because we had the pheromones on our, like we got stung on our suits. So the pheromones were all over our suits. So we were trying to get away from the situation. And the bees were following us for, it took us probably what, at least 30 minutes of walking away and the bees not following us where we went. So anyway, so see, scrape away. It wasn't just you. We've all been
I was
there.
thinking you was going to tell the story when you got
I
stuck right here.
my ear. Oh, it was so bad. I thought I was done, and I was impatient because a lot of our bee jobs were in the middle of the summer. And it's 110 degrees outside, and I'm in this suit, and I am dying. I was overheated. And Jason was taking too long to get done what he needed to do. And so I told him, I was like, I'm getting out of my suit. And so I took off and walked way down the road a little bit.
You didn't walk that far.
But I didn't do my buddy check. And Jason didn't clear me.
You weren't patient.
I was all the way down the driveway when I took my suit off.
Oh, a whole whopping 30 feet.
It was more than that. But anyway, so,
No, I remember like this was yesterday because you tried to make me feel so guilty.
Because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
I'm sorry, you couldn't wait 2 more minutes to let me finish scraping.
I couldn't.
So then that way we could have, and dusting.
Burning up.
Well, you know, that's your own fault.
So anyway, I got stung behind my ear, and I took my suit off, and I was in the middle of the driveway, and you got to understand, we were in a neighborhood that the cheapest house in there was probably $500,000, if not more.
It was a cheapest house in there was a mill.
Yeah, they were expensive houses. Really, really posh neighborhood in Augusta. And I'm in the middle of the road in the neighborhood, taking my suit off, throwing it, smacking myself in the face.
Cussing.
Cussing up a storm. And I was like, I'm never doing it again.
I'm going to go get a job, and I'm never doing this again, and you suck, and we're getting a divorce, and I hate you, and that.
It was bad. It was really bad. But anyway, so back to cooking with essential oils. What I was going to say is, you know, these oils, okay, so Robin, what would you do if you had to use the bathroom in that suit? I go to the bathroom before we start. And then we don't drink any, because you can't drink anything, because we use the full, like, the netting around the face and everything, so we don't drink hardly anything while we're doing
and we don't scrape away.
We don't scrape away. But anyway, so as far as cooking with the essential oils, try to introduce the oils at the end of the cooking process so that unless you're doing like a marinade, which is really a good idea because remember we talked about attaching it to a lipid. So like if you're using olive oil or avocado oil, anything like that, coconut oil, and you put the oils in with that to use as a marinade, that's good too because, you know, once it cooks in, it soaks into the flavor soaks in. You know, that's, whoa. Holy cow.
Going to be a duck fight.
Between 3 guys, and one of them's Steeler. Sorry, y'all, I got distracted.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Why don't you say fat?
Lipid.
Instead of lipid. That's why you ain't got to
Look,
through people in here.
Carol.
People are trying to have to look up words when you're...
That's not very nice.
Well, not everybody has a $5,000 vocabulary like you do.
Well, not everybody wants to learn about... Not everybody wants to learn about essential oils.
No.
That's
Everybody's tired of looking up words.
So let's see.
Now
It says, please, can someone tell me which olive oil doesn't have an olive taste? I've never really tasted olive in olive oil. I cook with it, so I don't normally taste a, oh yeah, they're out vacationing.
With,
are they
with Nunda in them?
Oh, I don't know.
Because
Why?
I got this.
Must be. Yeah, they must be. Yep, same picture. Yeah, I've never tasted it myself. So I don't know, Teresa. I don't taste olives in olive oil. Because most oils users are women and we're smarter than you. I love it. Suburban's awesome. I love you, Suburban. So, if you're using a marinade, you know, like if you're doing balsamic vinegar and, you know, and you add some lemon and thyme or oregano or something like that.
Didn't we inject the ham with clove?
Yeah, okay, so with the ham, and we're going to do a ham on Sunday, you can take, instead of doing like putting the cloves in there and everything else, we took a little bit of water and then we put clove oil, wild orange, and cinnamon, and we put those in the bottom of the pan, and then we tinted the ham and cooked it that way, and it really did cook into the ham. It was really good.
Now I'm upset.
Why?
Both my friends are eating crawfish straight to boil.
And they didn't invite you.
No, we didn't get it.
To the beach. They went to. They're in the beach somewhere.
Gotta be around
Mississippi. Extra virgin olive oil. First press has the olive taste. The ones for cooking and baking or second or third press don't have the olive taste. So there you go. See, I do not want any taste in the oil like coconut oil. Right, okay. Most olive oil you buy in grocery stores are fake. Real olive oil is very expensive, hard to come by. Alright, so any kind of marinade, if you're doing that, you can go ahead and put the oils in there. And with those, you may use more than the toothpick because it's something that's going to infuse into the meat before you cook it, kind of thing. So that's a little bit different than when you're flavoring, say you're doing a sauce. You really want to use like toothpick to be able to flavor stuff. You take the toothpick, put it in the oil, swirl it around, that kind of thing. Another really cool recipe that we've done several times is the what are the cookies that I like? Thin Mints. So when you make Thin Mints, you can use peppermint oil in the cookies, but also in the chocolate sauce that you dip the cookies into. And that really, and that's the thing, like, so I was talking earlier, there's this big, huge debate always back and forth about whether or not essential oils are ingestible. But the thing is that even, and I'm almost 100% certain we looked this up, seems like we did, the Thin Mints do have essential oil in them. They have peppermint oil in them. So, you know.
You mean the Girl Scout one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Has peppermint oil in it.
But it wasn't, we found, because ours were more minty.
Right.
So there was something.
Well, it could have been the quality. It could have been that it was the oil was diluted more, that kind of thing. But you can use like cinnamon in candy. That's one of the things we're going to do, is put cinnamon oil in the candies. We're going to do what? Cinnamon whiskey candy? Is that what you said? Like a fireball kind of candy? Didn't you tell me that's what?
Yeah, we were going to call it
I can't remember.
Because of the fish. Something salmon. Spicy tuna.
Spicy tuna. Yeah. Cassia, yeah, you can use that as well. Wonderful in apple butter. Use real cinnamon oil, not red hot candy. See, like that's the thing is a lot of these oils, you can swap them out. And see, the thing that I really like about that, like for instance, ginger. Ginger's a huge one. Look who's here. Miss, I'm at the beach. And her husband sending pictures of crawfish.
Had a crawfish boil with Nunda.
Yep.
Didn't invite us. So I could eat crawfish off a newspaper.
They'll eat enough for you, I'm sure.
They're just going to send me pictures.
Short stack has arrived. So there you go. Cassia and baked sweet potatoes. That's probably a really good one, too, because you're here in spirit. Oh, somebody wearing a Big Bear shirt.
That ain't putting crawfish in my belly.
So a lot of the oils can be used for cooking.
Oh, look, now they all gonna show up. They all gonna show up talking about, what y'all doing?
Pinch the tails.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they tell you in Savannah to do. We still love you, she said. No. It should be us saying we still love you. Right?
I mean, they got a freaking cooler
I know, it's a cooler
full.
full. I saw it. I saw it.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
dude. And they're not tiny ones either. Look at that monster.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What if you made cinnamon butter for the sweet potatoes? That would be good. Oh, I already know you still love us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I need to pretend better. I can't. I'll never be able to play poker. I wear my emotions on my face. It gets me in trouble sometimes. Okay, so there's so many different oils. Yeah, now see, that's the thing I think is cool. They're on vacation and they decided to stop by. That's pretty cool. I mean, I know if I was on vacation, I wouldn't be doing a whole lot of YouTube. But it is kind of getting darker. It's the end of the day, so we're pretty special. So even on vacation, they're thinking about us.
As they're eating crawfish.
Well, we're making crawfish etouffee this week, so there you go.
Bam. Bam.
It's gonna be a picture of them like, ar, 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 ar. Okay, so you have things like basil.
We sucking the meat out of the crawfish.
Right. So that's what they tell you when I used to learn how to eat crawfish when we were in Louisiana and in Savannah. They used to say pinch the tail and suck the head, right? Because you get all the good stuff out of it. Why are you
turning so red?
Get it out of the body of the crawfish. There was a lot of T-shirts down in Savannah that said that. I don't know why. So Suburban says she would watch me on vacation. I'll leave it at that. Aww. Special. That's what she said. They're crawdads. Yep. That too. We call them crawdads. So,
no, they got some good beer there too.
So the other really cool thing about these essential oils is depending on how you use them when you are cooking or flavoring things, they will retain some of their properties as well. So, like basil is antibacterial, rosemary is antibacterial, lavender, you have a lot of these oils are antibacterial. So there's a lot of times where people, can you turn that down?
No.
Oh my God. Who said you? That had to be cornbread. We are on live. But you can't tell the way that he is behaving right now. I use sweet basil for so much in my cooking. Shine with cinnamon.
The babas are done.
The babas are done. Thank God. Here, take my phone and go take pictures of them, so that we have some after pictures. So yeah, so a lot of these, if they have antibacterial properties, you can use them for that as well. And then the other thing is that a lot of them are also carminatives, which means that they help with gas and indigestion. So like ginger.
Sucking heads, don't you?
Mm-hmm. So ginger is a really, really good one. So if you're using ginger to flavor stuff, that works really well. Peppermint. See, you're being called out now. Well, I missed Jason's garden live stream.
Yeah, I missed it too.
When are you gonna do it again?
As soon as the garden is in.
Almost. I mean, I was just telling people, I would not be surprised if we start having flowers coming out soon.
We better not.
Suburban says that she has some peppers under grow lights with flowers already on them. Because everybody's waiting to put stuff in the garden or in the ground because it's been so wet.
Wet and cold.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ginger oil beer. Mmm.
with some crawfish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
John says he's gonna cook me some at the
8 hours away, and you too could suck crawfish. Show the prep and planting. What do you mean the prep and plant? Like what we've done?
garden.
Yeah, so like, I mean, we've shown y'all, we've turned the camera around before, but like, we have pepper plants that are,
She's talking about in the garden.
Right, they're only about this big. But then like all the squash plants, I mean, the leaves are like probably 5, almost 6 inches across now.
Amy,
they're huge.
Amy, you know, Thursday night, after the classes are done, there's got to be a crawfish boil or something. We got to have a big honking dinner.
We should have something. We really should. A lot of people are doing the Airbnb, so it seems like somebody should be able to do something. We should be able to do something. So, all right. Good night, Teresa. Hello. Go for green.
And they better have a cake.
I don't drink. I don't know what you're talking about.
'Cause me, cornbread, Mark, John, Josh.
Bye, Amy. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good time. Jason and I are going to have fun with bacon brownies. Yep. Absolutely. We were talking about bacon grease earlier, about flavor and stuff. But you know, like rosemary's antibacterial. So, you know, some of these, and that's one I read when we were talking about the FDA things that were approved to clean meat after it's been processed. I came across an article that talked about they were trying to propose using bergamot oil to clean the meat instead of using some of these just horrible chemicals that they use to wash the meat. Do you do steam distilled mostly or other methods? So we purchase ours through doTERRA. So most of them are steam distilled. There are a few that are cold pressed, mostly just the citrus oils, and that's because they are from the rinds, so it's easier to extract the oil by cold press rather than steam distilling those. Can we have some kind of cookout during the conference? You know, last year it was like they were going to try and do that, like at least a marshmallow roast or something, but everybody was just so exhausted Saturday, so maybe if they did something Friday night, that might be cool.
That's because Amy worked just like Hebrews.
Yeah. Let my people go. Cold press I really like. Yeah, so like,
She was like a Oompa Loompa Pharaoh.
Especially with your lemon, lime, bergamot, and grapefruit, those kind of things, tangerine, kumquat, all of those citrus, those are definitely done as a cold press scenario. So, and with those, remember you have to be very careful, especially if you use them topically, that you have that UV sensitivity. So you have to be really careful with that for 12 hours. And that's not just going out and sitting out playing out in the sun. That's also going to a tanning bed, things like that. You have to be very careful when you're using these. And one thing if you don't catch anything else, there's 2 things that are super important. One, make sure that your oils are food grade. I'm not even going to go with certified pure, blah, 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 blah. Just make sure they're food grade. And the way you know that is on the bottle, you'll have supplemental facts that will tell you that it's ingestible. You can, in fact, ingest it. 2, remember
The Titans.
that these oils are the very essence of the plant. So they're going to be super, super, super strong versions of the herb or the flower or whatever it is that you're getting. You have to be certain that you understand that this is like whatever, like for instance, cinnamon oil is cinnamon bark on crack. I mean, it's very, very high potency. So you don't need, when they say with essential oils, just in general, not just with food, but just in general, a little goes a long way. So the last diamond walnuts I bought were in a bag instead of the can. So they discontinued. I noticed that they're starting to do them in bags. When I looked at the ingredients, surprise, it said walnuts and rosemary oil extract. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Right, concentrated. Very, 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 very strong. So you want to make sure that you are keeping that in mind when you're flavoring something. And also when you're ingesting it. Because, you know, if you put like 10 drops of cinnamon in your drink, that's going to be way too much. You don't need that. So, not as fresh. Are you talking about the oils versus...
Now, can I add something? Because you just said, I put cinnamon in my shake. And I put 1 drop. And it's not enough.
Okay. Right, but you don't need 10.
No, I don't need 10. I
right.
need 2.
2, maybe 3. And the recommended thing to do is start with 1 drop. And if that doesn't irritate you, then you can move up to 2 drops. So you kind of want to make sure, no different than when you're doing a skin patch test, you want to make sure that you're testing, you know, what's your tolerance level. And it's not just that it doesn't burn your throat or whatever, but make sure it doesn't give you an upset stomach, nausea, anything like that.
So if we were to do the cinnamon challenge with essential oils,
no.
How many drops of oil would that be?
I wouldn't do it. I think you're playing with fire, literally. I don't think it's a good idea.
Handle 2.
Oh, I bet you could. But Jason, you're accustomed to using oils daily. Exactly, that's the thing. So I do mint ice cream with spearmint. Ugh. You can have all the spearmint you want. I can't do spearmint.
I like spearmint.
Oh, it's on my hand. Ugh. It's just very faint, but I can smell it. I don't like spearmint. And what's crazy is, don't they say that spearmint is supposed to be like a milder form of mint? I don't know what it is about spearmint, but that smell, flavor, it messes with my stomach. I'm not a happy camper when I have spearmint. Ugh. Now, so another one that you got to be real careful with, cilantro is another one. I said that. Cilantro is very strong.
Stupid strong.
Yeah. And when you do cilantro and lime together, you might as well not taste anything else. So that's definitely a toothpick kind of thing.
Dobby.
Oh, what does Dobby want? What's up, Dobby? Fresh apple mint and chocolate mint growing in the yard.
Thanks, loser.
Can we run them back?
I would probably prefer you to walk them back.
No, well, you know what I mean.
So the sheep have been sheared.
Let's see the grease.
And the lanolin, not grease.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
lanolin.
tired.
I know. However, sweet mint and lime with clear oh. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Let's see. So I'm looking at this ebook that I put the link in the description for everybody. What? Oh, they look so horrible. That's the crimp. Yeah.
Let's see. They went from this
Pre-cotton ball. Cotton balls. They were walking cotton balls.
They went from that.
Just mention the word spearmint sets Robin off. Why would you even have it in your house? So normally we don't, but because of the class, and this is how much I love y'all.
To this.
Yep. They've got no hair now, or no wool. Yeah. There you go. They're like 100 pounds lighter. Naked sheep. They actually, you can't really see the details. We'll put some on Instagram for you to see better. But our shears, we were under the impression that the shears were decent, and they really are not that decent.
This is what our crimp look like.
That's the crimp. It's not focusing very well. Pull it out a little bit. There you go.
Just a little bit.
There you go. Anyway, they look so much more comfortable. And that's really what it boiled down to when we were shearing them and the shears were just not working very well. We were like, forget it. We're not worried about the wool.
What are you doing?
She was calling the piggies and showing me how she trained them to come to her. So basically, no, they're not hand shears. They are electric shears. And they just, I don't know, and it's possible because this was 2 years of growth. So there was a lot of things like that were maybe contributed to the fact that they didn't work all that great. Yeah, he hijacked my phone. And there was a lot of lanolin buildup on the back of the shears, and as we were shearing, it was sticking. It was a nightmare. So, hopefully now that all of that is gone, when we shear them next year, it'll go a lot better. And I think we'll probably end up getting better blades for them. So, I have to explain that picture to you sometime. You see how nicely dressed that guy is? He had a Budweiser tank top. Can it open up there? And then the pants were like beer cans. The guy totally didn't look like he should be buying that outfit. Do you ever study the Bible references to oils and their uses? Yes. So a couple of the different oils that were referred to in the Bible, I've covered those in classes, and we've referred to them when I talk about the history of each one. So you have like frankincense, myrrh, spikenard, what else? Maybe Jason can make some with me on Friday night. I don't know.
Make some what?
Maybe for the shears, the hand shears for
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, the thing is that, I mean, we tried, but it was a nightmare.
That would be really cool.
Myrtle. Yeah. So, and those...
Myrrh.
No, we did myrrh. We've done frankincense. We did spikenard. And then a lot of the different oils, they have a very rich history. So, like lavender. Lavender was used way back in Roman and Greek times in the bathhouses, in the bathwater. And it was supposed to be for smell, but little did they know that one of the properties of lavender was it was antibacterial. So it explains a little bit of how disease didn't travel as much as it could have in public bathhouses. So there's a lot of different...
That's what we need to bring back.
Public bathhouses? No. I'm good.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm good. No, thank you. I'm trying to think. What's another good recipe that we've used?
The best has been when we injected the ham with the clove.
Mm-hmm.
That mixture that Blaze made up. It was stinking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. We'll do that.
And you didn't have to worry about eating all those little clove pieces that are jammed all over the ham.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, Kitty was posting her stuff. Dysentery, Jason? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that, they used to put lavender all in the bathwater. And I think that's really cool that there were some things. And just like they used to did you know they used to throw lavender on the ground in like the castles and stuff like that? And then people would walk on it and it would release the smell of the lavender. And that smell has since been associated with the idea of something being clean. And so, think about nowadays, we have lavender soaps and lavender laundry detergents. So
then how did we go from lavender being clean to the lemon smell being clean?
I guess lemon does, but when I think about, like, soaps and stuff, I normally think of lavender before I think of lemon. I mean, I don't know. Oops. Anybody have any questions? 'Cause I'm not going to go for 2 hours tonight. I'm tired. We've had a long week. Or weekend. But be sure to check out that.
Be sure.
Be sure to check out that ebook, because there are, I mean, it talks about what oils are really good to go with teas, and then there's other recipes in here for smoothies, limeades, and then there's some marinade recipes. Yeah, marketing.
What?
The lemon.
Oh.
Yeah. From French to Moroccan maids. Also Tussie Mussies in summer in the USA in the 1800s when people took their annual bath. So there's even a recipe in here for lavender cupcakes. I've never really eaten lavender, so I don't know about
So
that.
you're
Like
saying
people
when I
do
make-
lavender soap, lavender sugar and stuff, and I've never done that.
So this week when we're starting to make the base and everything for the solar shower, you want us to put lavender plants around it.
Oh yeah, something like that. I mean, and like Kitty's saying, melaleuca and lemon are great in a lye soap for lots of reasons. That's one of the things that I've put melaleuca in soap before, and it is great for your face. Really good for acne and stuff like that. But on this ebook, there's definitely like wild orange oil, spearmint oil. There's all kinds of different recipes. There's a recipe in here for salsa using the lime and the cilantro. There's a bunch of different seasoning, marinades, blends, stuff to do with your salad dressings, all of that. So definitely check that out. I'm keeping mine, and it's really pretty cute. Let me see if I can show you here. See, it's pretty neat. You can print it out and hold on to it. And it has all of these recipes in the back. So you can print it out. Doesn't cost you anything at all. And it definitely covers pretty much everything that I talked about tonight in the class. On the Orax scale, what do you look for in essential oil in cooking? You know, what is the Orax scale?
I don't know.
I have an idea, but I don't know specifically. Oh, there's Pooper Scooper. What can I plant around my solar shower to keep away mosquitoes?
Mosquito plant.
That would be, what's it called? Citronella plants.
Citronella.
It's a type of geranium, so that's another thing. You can do geraniums. They don't tend to like the smell of those very much.
So Suburban's calling you out.
Can you do a video on cilantro, lime, rice? Yeah, I guess we could. We could do the cilantro, lime. It had chicken and black beans in it as well. Is that okay? Because that's what we did it with. It's very bland, I will say. It needs, like, we've always, we used to try and follow the recipe, but it's always very bland. So we always end up putting garlic and some kind of salt, seasoned salt of some sort in there as well. Because it's not, there's something always missing in it to me. I guess maybe it's supposed to be more of a subtle flavor. We just don't do subtle. I think that's why we didn't really prefer the Greek week, is because we just, all of the tastes and flavors are very subtle compared to what we're used to. Yeah, Terra Shield. Well, for the oils you could. Oh, antioxidants. That's exactly. I knew I recognized that. I just didn't know.
Around the solar shower, you can build some of those clay pot diffusers that you showed how to build in the video.
You could.
And put them around your solar shower and put Terra Shield drop in there and diffuse it, and then by the time that you...
Yeah. No, you could probably do that too. As far as antioxidants, there are a lot of these are antioxidant. So, and off the top of my head, I can't remember all of them, but there are plenty that are antioxidant that, again, if you use them, I would use them either in raw form, don't use them on anything you're cooking, so like your avocado dips, things like that. Or if you're gonna, like, say for instance you're seasoning your spaghetti sauce, I would put it in towards the end, that kind of thing. Won't peppermint oil mixed with water keep bugs off of green bean plants? Yes. You can certainly try it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We've used peppermint oil on a lot of our plants and it worked pretty well.
Kitty, that's one of the things we do when we sit out here around the fire. We're diffusing different essential oils around us to keep the mosquitoes away.
So Kitty was saying she needs to buy second bottles for her. You know what we do, Kitty? As our bottles start to get low, those are the ones we rotate out to be our cooking oil. Because, you don't use as much of them. So we make sure that those are the oils, like as they start to get low, we rotate those into the kitchen. And then the other ones, when we buy a new full bottle, we put that in our medicinal stash and do it that way. Good night, Mama Bear. Pleasure as always. Thank you, Food Forest Permaculture. We appreciate you coming and dropping by. Thank you for being so, for participating in the chat. That was, yes, very active in the chat. That was awesome. I didn't try that. It would be much better than spraying everyone. Yeah, we tend to use TerraShield a lot during the summertime. So just like with the peppermint during the summer when we're out in the thing, we do the peppermint water to keep everybody cool. My neighbor's gonna till up part of my yard so I can plant bee-friendly flower seeds. Awesome! Very cool. Maybe I'll buy a full bottle for the med bag and then bring the open. See, that's exactly what we do. We do the exact same thing. When they start to get low, we put those in the kitchen. And usually what ends up happening is over time when we start consolidating the bottles, because we don't usually go through one before we end up out of the ones in the kitchen. So what ends up happening is we start pouring those in and consolidating them, and before you know it, we have almost a full bottle in the kitchen too. So That's the other thing.
Because you're only using a toothpick,
right? At a time, exactly.
It's like with the lemon and the lime and the grapefruit and those. When we're putting in our water, we're putting anywhere from 3 to 5 drops at a time.
Mm-hmm. That one goes fast.
And so when they get down to a little under halfway, we send them to the kitchen, and then it's just a
toothpick. Yeah,
toothpick.
Toothpick. Yeah. Deer like white clover too. Yes, they do. We have a lot of it in the back pasture. Sorry, we were trying to get dandelion and violets ready to mix for storage.
Mm-hmm. It's a good old dandelion vodka, boy. Woo.
We have a lot of the violets haven't come up.
We've got more clover this year than we did dandelion so far. So
well, a lot of the dandelion hasn't come up yet on our side. Today I've seen here like the holly berries, borage, zinnias, cosmos, flowering trees, sunflower. Yeah. Oh, and black pepper oil works great in chili. I forgot I did that too. 2 drops in like a gallon. Yeah, exactly. So pay attention to that. She made a gallon of chili, and she used 2 drops. And that might have even been, depending on how spicy you like your chili, that might have even been too much for maybe my taste buds. Black pepper is definitely another one of those that you have got to be careful with. It is very, very potent. Wife's doing simple syrup for violets and vinegar for dandelions. Cool. Yeah, we have a lot of violets pop up. The plants, but I haven't had any flowers yet. Haven't seen a lot. Oh no, well maybe we have. Oh, it was spicy, but we like spicy. Made a batch with 1 drop. Kids were okay with. Yeah, you definitely. Black pepper is definitely a spicy one.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Mama. Putting sunflowers in a different pot.
Hi to you.
I know you always call her out about this. Vinegar is a natural herbicide. There you go.
Yep, that's true too. Because when we were in the Boy Scouts, it's also a natural insecticide. Because when we were in the Boy Scouts before summer camp, our scoutmaster would tell us a couple of weeks beforehand. Start taking drinking a tablespoon of vinegar every night.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got to summer camp, we never got bit by mosquitoes.
Yep. Really, vinegar? Yep. Yeah, you gotta be careful with spraying vinegar on stuff. I miss the violets. They don't grow up here. Odd question, is there an oil for ingrown nails? Where's my book at? Is it right over there? I don't know. Has anybody used it for
There's an oil for root
herbicide, fungicide, and pest control? Neem oil is another one that people use a lot.
Which one do you want, my love?
The Bible. Essential Life. Ingrown nails. Let's see. I've never used it for ingrown nails, so this will be something if I ingrown toenails. Lang Lang and the Zendocrine are the two that, and then the cellular complex, which is I think is is that the DR prime or prime something. But Lang Lang's one of them. That's the number one suggested one.
Nasty's gonna say hi to Amanda. She's been here for 5 minutes.
She said he. Let's see. Brittle nails, fungus, swelling. Yeah, so I mean, Lang Lang's definitely, and then the other one, no, but remove as much as you can and use something antibacterial, antiviral, and soothing for the skin. That's true, too. I mean, you know, the one that I like to use the most for stuff like that is Melaleuca because it stings a little bit, but once it finishes stinging, whatever pain you had before seems to have gone away. So that's pretty cool, too. What I like about... I use Melaleuca or tea tree all the time for stuff like that. When I have a fever blister, I use it for that. So, Suburban planted sunflowers today for Diamond Rose. She didn't plant any for me. You gonna plant some for me? Speaking of sunflowers... Stupid Jerusalem artichokes. So I have figured out why. You know, when we were reading about Jerusalem artichokes, one of the things they tell you is that you're supposed to pop off the flowers when they start to grow. And I thought it was so that the plant would grow better and stuff like that. But no, I am convinced now that the reason why you do that is because if you don't and the flowers die, and the seeds get blown in the wind, they will spread all over the place, and you will have Jerusalem artichokes all over your property, which is what we're running into now. The first row of our garden is supposed to have something planted in it. It's I think it's potatoes, right? Mm-hmm. So we got potatoes. Well, guess what else is coming up? Jerusalem artichokes everywhere. They're all over the place. So we were going in and pulling them out and getting them out of there because we have so many in the beds right now, we don't need them over there. So yeah, they reseed everywhere. Yeah, I guess you'll always have some artichokes. Some fartichokes is more like it. They're everywhere. I mean, all over the place. And they look like sunflower seed, like sunflower plants coming up. So, and they do look like sunflowers. If you've ever seen them, they do look like a form of sunflower. So when the flower, really?
No, it's from Maria.
Oh, well, she's not here.
Oh, she's probably there again.
Yeah. So, all right. Any more questions? I think we'll cut this down at 8:30. Anybody have any questions? Sinus congestion, was that a question of like what oils to use for sinus congestion, or were you asking if we had sinus congestion? Confused. Yes. That's for sinus congestion. So there's a couple. Breathe is a a blend, a respiratory blend. Peppermint is really good. Eucalyptus is also fantastic. Another thing too is if it's from allergies, you can use lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And the three of those working together, lavender is an antihistamine, and peppermint is an anti-inflammatory, so is lavender, so is lemon. So you take all of those together, mix them all together, diffuse them, put them under your nose, whatever. Those work really good for allergies. I usually put it on the brow, like on my forehead, and right up underneath, like right here in my cheekbones. And then that way it gets to my nose, and it also kind of helps open things up. My go-to for anything sinus, allergy, or lungs is the Breathe Blend. And also they have, I found your stash the other day. Yeah, you've been hiding it from me. This vapor stick, I keep going over there. See if I can turn it the right way. There's a vapor stick that they have, and we call it the glue stick. Mama Donna will tell you. But the thing with that is you can inhale this and never actually have to apply it, and it'll dry up before you use it. I mean, use it all. And I've never had one. I've never had one dry up on me. We've had some for 2 years, and they've never dried up. We've used them out before that happens. Yeah, the kids at Mama Oldways at her place, they use them all the time. Yeah, so the only time to apply is when they're sick. So you can put it on the chest. But that's another thing. Like if you want it to kind of continually release, you could put it on your chest and it'll just, and then the other thing, remember, take the oil and put a couple of drops in your hand, or a drop in your hand. Rub it together and then cup your hands and put it over your nose as if you're tenting it over your nose, and take a deep, deep breath, and that will clean you out all the way to the back of your throat. You'll actually feel it go down, sometimes even into your lungs. Like you'll feel it just clean everything out.
Clean out your lung butter.
Yeah. Smoking. I just eat some horseradish on roast beef sandwich. Believe me, horseradish will definitely clean you out too. That'll do it. Yeah, you just open the bottle and huff it. The only thing about opening the bottle and huffing it is I have a tendency, especially with like the Breathe and the peppermint, is I tend to touch my nose to it. And then I end up with this cold tip of my nose and it starts burning, and I can't deal with that. So, yeah, so Josh's doggy is 10 and he's having issues. So, yeah, he's only 10. So, but he's a Great Pyrenees German Shepherd mix. So, yeah, well, don't do that. Yeah. So that's why I put it in my hands and then I tent it over my nose, because then that way I don't ever come into contact with it on my nose, and I don't have to deal with it. But I'm weird about that anyway. Like I have I don't want to say a reaction, but like I have to be very careful with the Deep Blue, especially on my feet. Like some people use it on their feet. I can't. Like I freak out. It hurts my feet. Not really hurts. It's just oversensitization, I guess. Something like that. About as big as me. See, that's what, Apollo's like that. He was laying in the bed with us the other day on his back, and he was as long as Jason and I. So.
And he snores.
Just like you.
Just like you.
Uh-oh. Alright, any other? Yeah. Deep Blue. I now use 4 drops in 1 teaspoon of coconut oil to apply on my back. Yeah. I wonder. I don't know if you could use Deep Blue on a dog.
You could try.
Kitty, do you know? Can you use Deep Blue on the doggy? right off the top of my head. I don't know. I used to have a list of all of the ones you could use for a dog. I just wonder. Yeah. I know we've done a couple of different things for Apollo. I seem to think we used a little bit of Deep Blue on him when was it his leg? Something happened with his leg. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't use it. I was just curious if anybody's heard of it. Seems like we did a very small amount of the lotion, not the oil itself, but the lotion, with Apollo when I think he hurt his leg somehow. But we definitely, Josh, know that we're thinking of you and your family. I know what that does to a family when you have an animal in your household that's, one of the family. So, Remedies. Alright, anything else before we sign off for the night? Maybe, maybe not.
We'll probably start in the garden with Big Bear again. Not this week. Well, maybe we'll do some this week with us planting. Trying to get a lot of these guys out and into the garden.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Thank you, Kitty.
And stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't bring it down.
And once all of these plants are out, y'all are going to have a new look in our live stream.
Mm. Yeah, we're going to move things around in here.
Because we're going to move things around in here.
Yup.
Be getting ready. Do things a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Crank up the knob a little bit.
I was just thinking about the other day, you realize we have like just a little over 5 months now until the conference.
I know, I'm freaking out.
Yeah, me too. Jason, you making room for me to come sleep in there?
Come on, Mama.
We'll make room
I've
for you.
slept in here many, many a night. Because I've been in so much pain, I didn't want to snap at anybody, so I locked myself in here. Because I had Netflix in here, I got a little refrigerator in here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just got to do it every once in a while.
Yep.
So come on. I'm ready for you to be down here anyway.
Mm-hmm. About done with being here to the point of taking 3 kids and boarding a plane. I got 10 forges to build. Oh my gosh. I'm definitely flipping out. Problem with using oils on dogs and cats, they'll lick them. Yeah, that's a good point.
Not unless you put the cone of shame on them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Suburban does. She definitely knows a little bit about dogs. A little bit is an understatement.
Mm-hmm. She's the dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Nobody has a bigger heart for dogs than her.
Mm-mm. And we've met a lot of people who love dogs, but even my mother-in-law, she loves her dog, but...
My mama can't hold a candle to Suburban.
Mm-mm. Well, it's like you said the other night. If I died and I believed in reincarnation, I would want to come back as one of Suburban's dogs. That's what I would want. Good night, Mud Pie. Have a good evening.
Alright, so there doesn't look like there's any more questions.
No.
So let's do the closing.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Can me and Blaze both have a glass of Coke with dinner?
That
Yes.
has absolutely nothing to do with essential oils.
Go ahead, baby.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
Love you.
Love you. Oh. Poor baby.
Okay, so remember, be kind to one another. You never know what that person is going through. And sometimes, I'll openly admit, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people want to spit in your face and they just want to be downright ugly to you for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You still just gotta
Or they want to bring you down.
try to put on a smile and
Mm-hmm.
let it be like water on a duck's back. Let it roll right off.
Put on your coat of Rain-X.
And there you go. And remember, kill them with kindness. That way you never ever let somebody else change the person that you are.
I always think of the thing that's right there on our wall. Your mood should not dictate your manners. Whatever your mood is, you should not let it dictate who you are and how you behave.
But always remember, say hi to a stranger, be kind to one another, reuse, repurpose, recycle. Keep the stuff out of the landfills and give our wildlife a chance.
Remember, walk away from.
And remember, scrape away.
Scrape away.
Scrape away. Scrape away.
Walk away from the situation.
And walk away before the situation gets worse. Look, if y'all want to get that joke, go to Breakaway Homestead and watch his video on
putting his bees
in, and y'all get it. No insomnia tonight. I am flat out exhausted. If you can't tell, I am worn out. I'm not going to have any trouble getting to sleep tonight. And I'll make it up with you guys some night during the week. Alright, well, we love you guys. And we will see you sometime this week. Because we're just going to pop on live and be like, hey. So,
we love y'all.
Love y'all.
Y'all have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.